Andy Pettit gave his deposition, which, my two favorite sports words of today are deposition and affidavit.
I kind of like misremembered.
Okay. Oh, no. Well, misremembered, we haven't even got to. I didn't even know that was a word.
It is. I looked it up.
You did. There's really a word called misremembered.
Just does not get utilized all that much unless you're trying to be fancy and get away with.
Nor should it. It's a terrible word.
It's like once in a lifetime, and I got called out on it, found out they were words, and it's just kind of weird, you know?
Misremembered.
How'd you learn it?
I've never heard that word used so much. Clement just kept, well, again, I think Andy just misremembered, and they were asking him, so are you saying, that Andy Pettit is an unreliable source? No, he's a truthful guy, he just misremembered.
Right.
That sounds like something that the president would say.
I'm not saying that the Mitchell report was wrong, I'm just saying Brian McNamee's story is not right.
Right.
But Brian McNamee's story is what fueled the freaking Mitchell report to the fullest extent and got Roger Clemens in the situation he's in today, and that's in front of Congress, babbling and bumbling with attorneys stroking his shoulders.
The whole thing was just bad. And, McNamee, to me, it doesn't seem like a very trustworthy guy, but still.
Well, the reason he was such a liar in the past is because he was covering Roger Clemens.
Yeah.
And, why would he want to rat him out? That's his boy. That's his meal ticket. That's his best friend who's a pro 7-time Cy Young Award winner. I mean, if you were, I'd cover you all day,
Yeah, well, to a certain extent. I mean, but when they start talking about jail time and lying under oath and things like that.
Extent.
Yeah, like I don't think there's anything wrong with what Andy Pettit did with telling the truth. I think he gave the complete and utter truth, it sounded like. And I think I would have done the same in that situation. I know you and I are terrific friends.
Absolutely.
But I tell you what, if it comes down to Eric, you got to go to jail unless you tell us what Diggs did.
I mean, that's
I'll tell you. I'll tell you, dude. I'm not going to jail.
Yeah, I know all my friends would rat me out.
Yeah, not just me.
Right. No,
but I would expect the same from anyone else, any of my friends. I would expect the same. But
Absolutely.
But
it comes down to this. Andy Pettit didn't, if this was just normal people, a normal scenario in front of Congress, Andy Pettit would have been strong-armed no matter how he felt about showing in person. He would have been forced to be there. And, a normal person may not have got this attention that Roger Clemens got. This was basically congressmen just in awe. They're just as much shocked by heroes as we are, Roger Clemens. Andy Pettit. So Andy Pettit got a free excuse after he spilled his beans. Oh, you don't have to come. You're truthful enough.
Yeah.
We'll just keep mentioning it over and over how you said it and no one can hear you say it. And Roger Clemens got this little thing today to get his chance to have Brian McNamee in the same room and, shout his answers and da-da-da-da-da. Guilty.
Yeah, no, it totally looks guilty to me. But yeah, you got to think Roger Clemens brought this thing on kind of himself because we've always said that when they bring up guys' names for cheating or using any sort of performance enhancers, that if they're innocent, I've heard a lot of guys say, well, if that was me, if somebody was saying that about me and I'm innocent, I'm making a big stink about it. I'm taking it to court. I'm doing everything I can to clear my name. And that looks like that's what Clemens is trying to do. Like I
compare it to people who are mourning a loved one.
Okay.
Apparently a way you're supposed to mourn. You know what I mean? If people don't follow that, then they apparently killed that person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, that mother's not mourning good enough. I'm pretty sure that, even though her child died of cancer, she drowned that kid in the bathtub. You know what I mean? That's a public opinion. That's just how it goes. So when Roger Clemens didn't, whether, if it comes out that Brian McNamee's just lying just because he got a little heat from some other athletes and thought he'd bring down a big kingpin of all the guys he trained, because let's face it, this would not be a big deal if this was just Andy Pettit right now.
No, I think it would still be a big deal. I think Andy Pettit's a big enough name, but not, you're right, not near as big. Roger Clemens
is the equivalent of Barry Bonds.
Absolutely. And by the way,
and the greatest pitcher of our time are both in court with steroid cases clouding.
By the way, who do you think right now Roger Clemens' biggest fan is?
Oh, Barry.
Barry Bonds all day.
Finally. Hey, please.
We'd like to welcome Chris to the show. Chris, what up?
What up?
What up, Chris?
Diggs.
I'll tell you what, Barry Bonds is at home right now like, yeah, and it's a white boy, too.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about.
Honey, come over here and pop my back pimples.
Oh.
Ew,
Let me go
gross.
and find my area down here. Wait, I don't, you know what?
It's smooth down there.
I'm pro-juice.
What do you mean? Come on, now.
Pro-juice.
We talked a little bit about this.
And hear me out, because this is a primitive instinct that I'm
This
running
is
with
you're
here.
totally wrong.
We're talking about gladiators, all right, back in the day. These dudes fought to the death
Oh man.
No.
in front of people, all right? Now, fast forward. Now, we don't kill people in our sports, and we try not to.
Right. If we
But
help
you're
it.
looking at a situation where these are modern-day gladiators, if you will.
Well,
So,
yeah.
if by performance-enhancing drugs
Baseball
helps them survive in their game,
That-
which is the
I think-
paycheck these days,
I think baseball players are
Not gladiators.
they're a far cry